This full moon isn't asking you to do more. It's asking you to feel what's been waiting to be acknowledged. In this episode, we'll explore the full moon in Cancer, the emotional and intuitive themes it brings, the major cosmic alignments influencing this lunation, and we'll close with a holy fire Reiki transmission to support release, healing, and emotional safety. Welcome, luminous souls, to Lunar Alchemy, a space where moon cycles, cosmic wisdom, and shadow work weave together to guide your evolution. Here we follow the true sky, honoring the actual astronomical placement of the moon rather than traditional zodiac calendars. This allows us to move beyond abstraction and into embodiment, to feel the sky, not just interpret it. Today we gather beneath the light of the full moon in the constellation of Cancer, arriving on February 1st, 2026 at 2:09 p.m. Pacific Time. This is a moon of deep feeling, a moon of memory, and a moon that asks us to come home, not to a place, but to ourselves. Full moons are moments of illumination and culmination. They reveal what has been forming beneath the surface and invite release, integration, and emotional truth. Under this full moon, the lunar light shines directly into the waters of the subconscious. What has been felt but unspoken may arise. What has been buried for the sake of functioning may ask to be witnessed. This is not a moon that demands answers. It asks for presence. It asks us to slow down enough to feel what is real. Cancer is ruled by the moon itself, making this full moon especially potent. Cancer governs emotional intelligence, home and family, memory and ancestry, intuition and instinct, nourishment, care, and safety. When the moon moves through Cancer, emotions are amplified, not to overwhelm us, but to inform us. Cancer reminds us that feelings are not weaknesses, they are messengers. The key themes of this full moon are 1. Emotional depth and intuition. Sensitivity is heightened now, and your intuition may feel louder than your logic. Pay attention to emotional reactions, bodily sensations, and your inner nudges. Memories may be resurfacing. Your inner world is speaking clearly. Number 2, home and family. This moon highlights domestic life, family dynamics, and ancestral patterns. You may feel drawn to revisit family stories, reflect on childhood conditioning, and redefine what home means to you now. This is about creating emotional shelter, not perfection. Number 3, nurturing and self-care. There is a strong call to tend to emotional needs, especially the ones that you have postponed. This moon asks, where have I been caring for others at the expense of myself? True nurturing begins inward. Number 4, security and belonging. This full moon invites a deep inquiry. What actually makes me feel safe? Not what should, but what truly does. This is about building inner security that doesn't depend on constant proving or productivity. Number 5, releasing the past. Old emotions, wounds, or limiting beliefs may rise now to be released. This moon offers a gentle closure. This full moon also highlights the polarity between Cancer and Capricorn. While the moon is in Cancer, opposite is the sun in Capricorn, the realm of responsibility, structure, ambition, and endurance. This full moon highlights the tension between inner needs and outer demands, emotional truth and duty, and rest and productivity. The medicine is balance. You are not meant to sacrifice your emotional well being to meet expectations. During this full moon, you may notice mood fluctuations, emotional clarity, memories resurfacing, a desire to retreat inward, and your intuition guiding necessary changes. Let yourself respond with kindness. Moving on to the cosmic alignments during this full moon, we'll go over the stellar and planetary themes. To begin, we have the moon conjunct the fixed star Alphard. This is the heart of the waters. The moon aligns with Alphard, the heart of the Hydra constellation. Alphard carries deep emotional sensitivity and spiritual solitude. It often implies feelings of vulnerability, but also emotional truth. This star teaches that sensitivity is not weakness, it is perception. The message from the fixed star Alphard in the Hydra constellation is your feelings are not too much, they are information. Under this full moon, emotions that surface are asking to be honored and not analyzed right away. During this full moon, we also have a Capricorn stellium. We have Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto, all under the constellation of Capricorn. We begin with a strong concentration of planets in Capricorn, the sign of structure, responsibility, and long-term foundations. Here's what each planet brings into this space. The sun represents identity, life force, and conscious awareness. Mercury governs communication, thought, and perception. Venus reflects values, relationships, love, and self-worth. Mars activates drive, action, and motivation. Pluto is the force of deep transformation, power, and rebirth. With all of these energies gathered in Capricorn, the emphasis is on maturity, accountability, and sustainable growth. Opposite of the moon in Cancer, this alignment highlights a central tension. External responsibilities versus internal emotional truth. This full moon asks, can I tend to my emotional needs without abandoning my commitments? Can I succeed without hardening my heart? This is about redefining success to include emotional well-being. Moving on to the next alignment, we have Venus and Mercury conjunct in Capricorn, and this is about values and your voice. This conjunction happened on January 29th. When Venus, what we value and how we love, meets Mercury, how we think and communicate, we are invited into honest, grounded conversations about what truly matters. This alignment supports mature emotional expression, redefining commitments, speaking needs clearly and responsibly, and aligning words with values. Under this full moon, unspoken feelings may surface, not dramatically, but deliberately. The message from Venus and Mercury is speak what is true, not what is convenient. This is an opportunity to communicate with integrity and emotional intelligence. Moving on, let's talk about one of the most significant alignments of the year, Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Pisces. This is where faith meets reality. This is one of the most significant alignments of the year and of this decade. Saturn represents structure, discipline, responsibility, and reality. Neptune represents spirituality, imagination, dreams, compassion, and illusion. Their exact conjunction occurs on February 20th, 2026 at 11 degrees of Pisces in true sky astrology and not at 0 degrees Aries as referenced in tropical astrology. This distinction matters. Pisces is the realm of faith, surrender, and the unseen. This alignment marks the intersection of practical reality and spiritual vision. It asks what dreams are meant to be built and which illusions must dissolve. This is a 36-year cycle and it signals long-term restructuring, personally and collectively. Ideals are no longer theoretical, they must be lived. As I mentioned, this conjunction between Saturn and Neptune will happen at 11 degrees of Pisces. And the spiritual significance of the number 11 is that it is a master frequency number. It is a gateway between worlds. It symbolizes spiritual awakening, alignment between higher truth and lived reality, and the collapse of illusion and the anchoring of consciousness. At 11 degrees Pisces, Saturn, Neptune asks us to rebuild faith through embodiment. The message from Saturn and Neptune is what you believe must now be lived. This alignment will test our trust and help us refine it. Moving on, we still have Jupiter and Gemini, but this time it is opposite of the fixed star Vega in the constellation of Lyra. And this is expansion through expression. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. In Gemini, it expands ideas, learning, dialogue, and curiosity. Opposite of Vega, a star of higher intelligence and artistic expression, this alignment encourages growth through communication and creativity. The message from the fixed star Vega is your voice carries wisdom meant to be shared. This is a beautiful alignment for writing, teaching, speaking, and learning through connection. Moving on, we still have Uranus and Taurus conjunct the fixed star Algol, and this is liberation through truth. Uranus brings awakening, disruption, and sudden change. Algol exposes what has been suppressed or avoided. Together, this alignment breaks emotional and psychological stagnation. Truth may surface abruptly, but only to free you. Moving on to Pluto, we've had Pluto conjunct the fixed star Altair for some time now, and this is emotional sovereignty. Pluto transforms power structures, and Altair, the eagle star, represents leadership, courage, and elevation. This alignment calls for emotional sovereignty, not control, but self-authority. The message from Algol is rise without abandoning your heart. Moving on to Lilith, I do think this is a significant alignment. Lilith is in Scorpio conjunct Ophiuchus, and this is raw emotional truth. Lilith represents the rejected, suppressed, or unspoken self, especially emotional and instinctual truth. In Scorpio and aligned with Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer and healer, this becomes deep shadow medicine. This alignment activates emotional honesty, power dynamics, ancestral wounds, and reclaiming suppressed truth. Lilith is also opposite of the Orion constellation, which is the heroic archetype. This is asking us to redefine strength. The message from Lilith is your truth does not need permission. This is profound emotional liberation. And finally, the last alignment that I'll highlight here is Chiron in Pisces, opposite the fixed star Spica and Arcturus. This is healing the spiritual self. Chiron reveals wounds in order to heal them. And opposite of Spica, which is related to service and sacred skill, and Arcturus, which is higher guidance, this alignment supports healing around worth, purpose, and spiritual identity. The message from Arcturus is you are not broken, you are remembering. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on to pulling a few cards from the tarot and get a collective message for this full moon. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull a couple of cards and messages for the collective around this full moon. Okay, the first card that jumped out is the Five of Wands, and this is usually a card that has to do with competition and conflict. Let me continue so that I can get the full message here. The next card that I'm pulling is the Four of Wands, and this represents, it's really connected to the home and celebrating the home. Sometimes it's related to marriage and creating that foundation of the home. So very appropriate for a full moon in Cancer. And let me just pull one more card so that I can get the complete message here. Okay, that's too many cards. Give me a second. Oh, wow. Okay. So the first card that I pulled, like as I mentioned, was the Five of Wands. Then I pulled the Four of Wands. Then I pulled the Magician. And finally, the Two of Cups. So the message that I'm reading here is we're moving away from chaos and conflict in our lives and really focusing on creating stability in our lives. So with the Five of Wands and the competition and the conflict and the arguments, it's like this is what we're releasing. We're moving beyond that. We know what does not serve us, and we want to create this stable, safe environment. And that's really the theme of Cancer, right? Taking care of the home, taking care of our environment, our inner sanctuary as well. So we're really cultivating that safety within ourselves. And with the Magician card, it's like we are calling this in and manifesting that stability and that harmony in our lives. And then finally, with the Two of Cups, it's really fostering those relationships in our lives that are aligned with our frequency, with our goals, with having those relationships that match your energy, your goals, your frequency, and having relationships that nurture that emotional safety, emotional intelligence. So that is the message. And I feel like those are very aligned with the themes. And finally, let's move on to the ritual and guided closing, this time with a Holy Fire Reiki transmission. As we close this time together, I invite you now to gently soften your body. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to fix. Simply allow yourself to receive. And as we begin, set the intention now to receive Holy Fire Reiki, a living, conscious energy of divine love, peace, and healing, flowing exactly where it is needed in perfect harmony. Holy Fire Reiki is not directed by the mind. It knows where to go. Take a slow breath in through the nose, release through the mouth. Feel yourself being held. Now allow Holy Fire Reiki to begin flowing into your energy field. Warm, gentle, and steady, like moonlight resting on calm water. Let it move first into your heart space. Here, Holy Fire Reiki soothes emotional tension, softens guarded places, and restores a sense of inner safety. There is nothing you need to revisit, nothing you need to relive, only a remembering. You are safe now. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to rest. Allow the Reiki to move into your belly, the place of instinct, emotion, and belonging. Any stored feelings, any unspoken grief, any old emotional patterns are gently acknowledged and released without force, without effort. Holy Fire Reiki continues to flow through your body, down through your hips and legs, anchoring you into earth, helping you feel supported, grounded, and held. You do not have to carry everything alone. Let yourself receive for a few quiet breaths. Allow these affirmations to be absorbed gently as Holy Fire Reiki seals them into your field. I choose emotional safety and truth. I honor my feelings as sacred guidance. I release emotional burdens that are no longer mine to carry. I am allowed to rest and be supported. I am at home within myself. I trust my intuition to guide me gently. Holy Fire Reiki continues to flow, integrating these intentions at the deepest level: mind, body, and soul. When you feel ready, take one final nourishing breath and gently return, bringing with you this sense of softness, safety, and inner belonging. Thank you for sharing this sacred moment with me. May this full moon bring you emotional clarity, gentle release, and a deeper sense of belonging within yourself. If this episode resonated, I invite you to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who may need this medicine. Until next time, may you feel safe, may you feel held, and may you always know where home truly is.